so final video review this week is for Blackout by Mallory, which was my paperback read last week. For any of you that didn't see the introduction video, it is on YouTube, so you can go and check it out, and it is somewhere on Facebook as well if you want to trawl through all the videos. This is what the book looked like. I have just posted my Goodreads review, so if you want to go and check that out, if you're on YouTube, there is a link in the description below, and if you are on Facebook, then there is a link below all the other videos. And this is the video review. So, this book, Blackout, right, like, wow, absolutely wow. So, I'm just going to show you, well, I can only half show you, because when I finished reading this book, I was definitely crying. And I'm not going to cry, because it's going to ruin my makeup, but I literally finished this book, like, literally, well, not even when I finished it, literally the last few chapters of this book, reading this book, I was like, literally, that's what my face looked like. It was like, got to be kidding me. And I was like, it's not a great face. Like, I totally should not do it on video, but it was like seriously, right? I could even thinking about this book, and I'm like, I found myself daydreaming a little bit about this book this week, and probably because it has played on my mind way too much how real this could become and how very scary that is. This book, Blackout, Mallory, just wow. Like, if you need a book to read and you want to be completely surprised, pick this up. Pick it up. Like, you should pick it up anyway, because it's an absolutely amazing story, and anyone who hasn't read this, you are missing out. You are seriously missing out on something amazing. One hell of an adventure with some very frightened and extremely brave teenagers. So, the main character, Skylar, yeah, she's a bit of a nightmare, but in the nicest possible way. It's not her own, like, it's not her fault. She just has this very awkward nature about her that makes her, you know, do things, and then sort of she thinks about the consequences after she's done them, but she's got such a good heart. And they literally are under, you know, this evil dictatorship that has completely taken over the UK, and they've built this huge wall between the south and the north. They've done some inexplicable things that no one seems to know about unless they're in the dictatorship. And so Skylar, she ran away, and then they built this wall so she couldn't go home. She tried to go home, and it was, oh, it broke my heart. The bit where she tried to go home, the bit where I was explaining she tried to go home, oh, don't. I was in bits. I was an absolute emotional wreck. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. I was completely ruined. Like, completely ruined. I had tears streaming down my face. It was awful. And then you get further into the book, further into the story, further into the backgrounds of her friends Mackenzie, Angel, AJ, and you just, oh, your heart breaks for all of them. This is such an awful situation to be in. It's very dystopian, this book. Very dystopian, but I'm telling you, it's scary how realistic it is. Like, I found myself properly invested in it. So it's set in Birmingham, and the north, you know, they've just been completely cut off. The people in the north have been completely cut off, and the board are just going to do the most inexplicable things and keep doing them if nobody stops them. So Skylar, she finds herself all sort of, she's only 16 years old. So I thought this book was going to be very young adult, and it is very young adult, and it's a little bit violent in places, but that's not graphically, if you know what I mean. It's important to the story, and it has to happen for the story. And it's so, yeah, I would say this is young adult, but it's very adult in terms of theme, for how scary it is. Like, literally, like, I think if I had read it at Skylar's age of 16, I probably would have been more frightened of the world than I already was. And I'm already frightened of the world, and I'm so much older than 16, and I'm now even more frightened of the world anyway after reading that, like, because it is seriously a possibility. This could happen. This could seriously happen. And if it ever did happen, I really, 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 really hope there are good people like Skylar who can do amazing things and do what's right for people. Like, take on getting justice for the people who have been treated badly. So she's a serious hacker. She her computer skills were amazing. Like, completely epic. Considering she had limited power and limited Wi-Fi and limited everything because of the board, she had some serious skills. But she finds herself mixed up with bad people. She finds herself mixed up in situations she really shouldn't be in. It all starts getting very complicated when Mackenzie steals something, a USB stick, from the board headquarters that is encrypted to like perfection, and Skylar nicks it and she's gonna break it and she wants to know what's on it. Unfortunately, when she finds out what's on it, that's when she knows she has to do something. She cannot sit by and let what the board are going to do happen. She has to get help. She has to stop it. She has to do something. So her and her friends, that's what they do. They work to stop the board. But oh my god, was I on the edge of my seat. Like literally the whole time I was reading this book. Completely on the edge of my seat. I felt every emotion. I could visually see it. Like the imagery was amazing. Like I say, it's literally been on my mind all week. I was sitting at work at my desk and I'm literally like, because I've read so far and I'm thinking, but how's Skylar going to do that? How are they going to do that? How are they going to get over this wall? How are they going to take down an evil dictatorship? Like they're only kids. Like how are they going to do it? I was literally thinking out all these scenarios and all these things. Like I properly got into it. I was like really intuitive about it. Yeah, I was overthinking it way too much, but I loved doing it. It was brilliant. When a book makes you think that much, you know it's a good book. And I just was like emotionally on this same journey with them, like really like rooting for them, but like trying to imagine what this would be like. And do you know, I think because I could see it so visually, this would make a fantastic TV series. Like literally would be amazing to watch. It's an amazing story, and to have it turned into a TV or film would be so cool. So I really hope that happens one day. But if not, you know, I'm quite happy with the book. It gave me a vivid imagery, like totally could see it. Literally every second of this could see it, feel it, everything. Oh, just, it was amazing. And so I was addicted to every chapter, like literally from the start. I could not put the book down. Completely addicted to it. Thoroughly invested in it. Loved every second of it. Have heard there's going to be more. So I'm super excited for that. Can't wait for the second book in the series. I need to know. I need to know what happened after the end of this book. I really, like, if you've read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. We need to know, right? Yeah, we totally need to know. But, oh, just, yeah, it was an absolute thrill to read this. It was fantastic. It really got me thinking. It really got me invested. Like, I cannot rave about this book enough. It was so good. You should definitely go and check it out. And if you haven't, I highly recommend that you do, because you, like I said at the beginning, are completely missing out on an experience that you've got to have. This is amazing, especially if you live in the UK. If you live in the UK, this book is for you. Read it. Like, and if you don't live in the UK, read it in case it happens to the UK, because we're going to need your help. And you never know with the UK, you know, we're not exactly in the best of hands. We might need some help one day. It was so good and I completely love it. So I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Blackout by Kit Mallory. It is amazing. Go and do it, literally. And if you've read Blackout by Kit Mallory, please let me know what you thought of it. Did you, like, were you as invested in it as I was? And if you live in the UK and you've read it, did it scare you as much as it did me that it could be a possibility? And if you haven't read it, or it's on your to-read list and you've got a copy of the book and you just haven't read it yet, you know, please let me know. Please let me know when you're going to read it, because I really want to talk about it with more people. I'm absolutely fascinated by this book, completely and utterly fascinated by it. It was fantastic. And if you do check it out and you do read it, as scary as it is, like I say, because it could so be real one day, I hope that you love it as much as I did, because it was absolutely brilliant. Bye.